African Safari Wildlife Park is a wild experience with over 800 exotic animals. Our drive-through safari features giraffes, zebras, deer, elk, alpacas, and even white bison, all of which you can feed right from your vehicle. Walk on the wild side with a Zoo It All Pass and feed kangaroos, porcupines, tortoises, and rabbits. Step into our aviary adventure and hand-feed budgies for a memorable experience. Check out our live educational shows or ride a camel. Create memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio Safari Park, African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton.
Well, happy morning to you all out there, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on the New Main Street TV. Jennifer here, of course, to start off your morning with our good friend John Boy, who is in the house. Welcome.
It's like Wild Safari 2, John Boy and Jennifer, right?
They should make us residents up at the wildlife.
That's true.
Park.
Oh.
But we will have some fun.
Yes, we will.
Yes. So you're doing all right? You are looking good today in your purple shirt.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I told you that Connie dresses me well each morning.
Yes, and so I'm guessing that you probably didn't go to the store and buy your own purple shirt?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And Connie said, love of my life, I think you would look fantastic in this purple shirt.
She's always right. I mean, if I always wear things in tones. Even though, I'm an art major in college.
You were?
Yes, that was my major.
What?
Yeah, I was in paint.
It wasn't blabbing?
No, it wasn't blabbing.
Oh.
That radio was supposed to pay my way through school, and then all of a sudden I realized that my career in art was probably
You were a better blabber than painter?
way off, so I just better go ahead and start talking.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I normally wear different shades of black. So
Me too. Gray, black.
She tries to insert some color in my life. She's always right, so.
It looks very, very nice.
Thank
and
you.
you look very springy, if you will.
Thank you.
Okay, now we got to go back to this art major thing. Were you really an art major?
Yes.
How did I not know this?
Well, it's one of the things my family keeps poking me about is that I love to paint, and of course, my mom was a wonderful painter, just like your mom, and I just got so busy and then I was involved in music, and it just sort of took a back seat to everything. So it might be one of those things that I need to revisit when I stop working.
So you can Paul Brown it.
That's probably true. That would be it.
So Paul Brown stopped doing art for 100,000 years
Yeah.
and took care of the extension center and
Right.
all that, and now he's back to doing his art again and
Right.
doing a fantastic job at it, more than a fantastic job. So you can be be
Yeah.
the next one.
It might happen. There's still some paintings out there of mine somewhere, and some in the house. Some.
Were they paint by number?
No, they weren't, because I wasn't very good at numbers either. So.
So what was your favorite art medium to use?
I really like acrylics. I like paint in acrylics.
Okay.
I get a little muddy when I use oil, but I like acrylics. I did a series in watercolors, but watercolors are okay.
They're not very forgiving.
No, they're not, and it's and I'm pretty quick when I do things. So.
It's kind of like Bob Ross.
No. Bob Ross is.
I mean, everything was happy when he painted it.
Yeah, Bob Ross has a technique. I never had a technique. It was get that paint on the canvas. Let's go. That was my technique.
Just slap her on there and.
Yeah. No, in college I fell in love with the medium, and I had a really good professor. His name was Moore, and he really inspired me. And then when I went on into other things, there's still an absence. He and a gentleman by the name of Sodervik, who was an art professor who got me started, and he was like most artists should be, he was insane. I mean, he was.
You almost.
Yeah, he was. I mean, and he would talk about.
He was insane.
He would talk. He would come in the class and he'd call me over and says, "John, you know what I saw last night? I saw an urban elephant." He was talking about a street sweeper. He'd never seen one before. So the guy was. He was
Wow.
into his. And when he did, he was always on the edge.
Yeah.
Of really losing it, and it's you saw it in his work. And of course, I've never even hit the edge. So anyway, we can go on to something else.
Oh no, I was just thinking back about how teachers do influence your life, and there's just like other people, you mesh well with some, you don't mesh well with some. But I had a college professor that ended up being head of like the theater department, and I just liked him so much that I ended up taking all of these theater classes, and I had never done anything like that before, but I just enjoyed. And he was a very, very, very large man, and he wore sweatpants
Okay.
to work every day because he was very large. But he was so interesting, and he'd been there and done that in theater, and
Yeah.
he had a lot of stories to tell and taught me a lot. But I would have never taken those classes had it not been for me meeting him.
Yeah.
I think he was my advisor at that time, and so yeah, it's interesting how people influence you, for sure.
I took theater, and my theater professor, his last name was Carlos, and my son Michael, his middle name is Carlos after
Really?
my professor. Yeah, he was influential too. So you're right. You connect with teachers. Teachers are so. I mean, we're talking about professors, but all teachers are.
All teachers
are so critical. I mean, I don't think that. I think if all parents, at least the majority of parents, think back, it was a teacher who really inspired them, in their lives. So it's a wonderful profession, underrated and underappreciated, but it's a wonderful profession.
It is, and yes, they certainly have molded us into the folks we are today.
Yeah. Sorry,
some,
Carlos.
Yeah, I know. Like, right?
I tried.
Sorry.
I really tried.
For all of you out there, I
Yeah.
apologize.
That's right.
I will not claim that you influenced anything. So, but anyway.
So that's my artsy background.
No, I don't know how I've known you all these years and did not know that.
Well, I went in as a science major. I really loved biology, zoology. I was a science major, and you know how you have to take classes, and so
Right.
I took an art class and really enjoyed it. That was Sodervik, and then I got involved in theater, and then I sort of everything heavily switched over to
that
the arts.
side of it. Yeah.
I really shouldn't say so much as an arts major as a fine arts major, because I was kind of all over the place for a while.
I hear you.
In school, yeah.
Yeah. But that's what part of college is too, is figuring yourself out, right? Still waiting,
Yeah, I'm
but
still working on that.
still confused. Didn't do a
I
very good
know.
job, but
I know.
anywho.
So, did you know it's National Upsy Daisy Day today?
I did not know that.
Did you not know that?
I don't even know what that means, but you're going to tell
Upsy
me.
Daisy is when it's encouraging us to get up with a gleeful attitude, a positive attitude. Upsy, not downsy, but Upsy Daisy.
It's way easier to go downsy daisy.
I know it is. In other words,
No, I like that.
Yeah.
I like positivity.
in other words, don't watch the news.
Right.
Excuse me. So that,
No, it is. You are correct about that.
and somebody more on my line, it's also National Jelly-Filled Donut Day.
Why are we not participating in that?
I don't know. Of course, what I say, I'm not allowed to eat donuts now, but jelly-filled donuts, I could just say it's fruit for breakfast, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yes. There is fruit in there somewhere.
And it's also National Best Friends Day.
Well, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
There is a dilemma with best friends. What happens when you find out that your best friend has another best friend? Does that really make them best friends or just another acquaintance? I mean, just words to ponder.
Wow. You're blowing my mind this morning.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. No, I mean, I guess the more the merrier, right?
Right. And speaking of best friends, since COVID is over, that they have this new study out about the effects of hugging. They say that we went through what's called touch starvation.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, during that. And they say that hugging is a good thing, especially among family. Of course, there's some families that will refute that.
That's just all about that's not about the hugging, it's other reasons.
Yeah, I think some families have been emotional distancing before there was social distancing. You know?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Oh goodness.
There you go.
No, and I can see that. Like it was interesting as I've noticed people really just needing that human contact and you know, even the old elbow bump or fist bump became kind of a thing during the past year because I think people still need that just contact.
Right. In other words,
And I guess that's the next best thing.
like in the Broadway play Jesus Christ Superstar, and it said, "Jesus, you know I loved you because when you walked by, I waved." And we needed more than a wave. I mean, we need that,
Like-
even if it was a fist bump or an elbow bump.
Right.
We needed the contact.
Well, and again, you're not getting those facial expressions either, so it was just really, everything was lacking.
Right.
Although sometimes people, it was probably best that they didn't see the facial expressions. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, we're now we can no longer hide behind the mask.
My resting bee face I've had to work on that a little bit.
So-
Yeah.
that mark inside my mask is when I would stick my tongue out at people.
Right.
Try not to change your eyes, but
Yeah, it is a thing. No, I have had that discussion with a million different people in all seriousness that like I've got to check my face now. I got to
Yeah.
make sure that like
Yeah.
I'm not
you can't stop right here.
Yeah,
You gotta finish.
I mean it's amazing what a tell-all it is.
And it's sort of amazing that, did you notice how we adapted? That at first it was difficult, but later on we were be able to recognize people by just seeing half their face.
Sure.
That was cool. I
Yeah.
mean, so now we can go back to seeing everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel a bit exposed. It is a little weird.
Yeah, and some are still wearing masks, and I understand if they're not vaccinated or,
Sure.
or worried, but I'm kind of liking it myself. I really am.
It's a little easier to breathe, especially when it's like this, like it is outside right now. I can tell you that the humidity is a killer with the masks.
And I have lots of empathy for those now that are working at different places and still have to wear a mask. So, even though they may be vaccinated, it's just the protocol of precaution
Yeah.
for businesses. So you see food handlers, you see cashiers, clerks, all those still having to wear a mask.
Yeah, it's rough.
I know.
It is rough, and it's just been it's weird how you adapt though. So you do it for a year, and then you feel weird without it a little bit, But
And we're very fortunate that it was only about a year, because
Yeah.
if you remember, we were getting all kinds of predictions and
Oh.
forecasts that we're going to have to do this
Yeah.
for 2 years, the rest of our lives, yada, yada, yada.
It's interesting though. I have talked with so many people about this, young, old, in between, doesn't matter, that have said, there's something to this mask thing because I didn't get sick this year.
Right.
Knock on wood. And I am one of those people. I get 2 colds a year.
I do
get
too.
one in the fall and I get one in February. Every year, it's like clockwork. and I got nothing this year. And I've also talked with people that have said, you know, I'm thinking maybe during flu season or if I'm feeling under the weather, that I will put it back on.
Okay.
And I'm like, I could see that. You know, so as to not,
Now, we
breathe on other folks and whatnot.
according to scientific studies, a mask does not prevent you from getting it. It prevents you from giving it, I think. Or did I have it backwards? I don't know.
No, I think that's kind of what they said. But here's the deal. We all wore them and we didn't get sick. So what is that telling you?
Yeah. I mean, we totally sort of wiped out or nullified the flu, the regular flu.
Correct.
Which was cool. And I'm like you, 2 times a year, spring and fall, I always get strep throat, just like that.
It's just like a
So,
thing.
Didn't this year.
Yeah. So
Hey.
are we on to something? Was it a coincidence? I think not.
And also we were washing our hands too, and we're doing other things. So
You know, we were doing a lot of things that we should be doing all the time anyway that we just didn't, we kind of took for granted.
yeah, because we realized that doing this doesn't work.
Or this.
So we better wash them.
It doesn't really work so well. Correct.
So anyway, I have something for you. This is really cool. There's 2 things that kind of blew my mind. There's a place in Hong Kong in this district. It's trying to read it here, Mount Nicholson. It's a luxury area in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Okay, a parking space became available in this area.
A parking space.
Parking space, because of course they're at a premium, and it went up for auction, and a guy bought this parking space for $1.3 million.
To park their vehicle.
Park their vehicle, $1.3 million. I mean,
Okay.
wouldn't it just be easier just go ahead and park it anywhere, let them tow it and buy
I
another
was
one?
gonna say, just buy a new car every day for a year for that.
Yeah, there you go, $1.3 million. Wow.
Ouch, that hurts.
I know, but
I had no idea.
Easy come, easy go with the money, I guess.
Right?
Another one, speaking of that, there's an artist by the name of Salvador Garreau. And he's sort of semi-famous in the pop art culture. Mm-hmm. He's 67 years old, and he did this sculpture piece that he called Solo O, which means I am. And he sold it for $18,000.
Okay.
The problem
Good for
is that he's not going to be able to take it home. He's not going to be able to touch it. He can't even see it, because Salvador created what he called an invisible sculpture. Now, he said it's more than a vacuum. It's not a vacuum, because he says that even if you pumped all the air out of it, he says science shows it. And I think there's what's called the Heisenberg theory, and the Heisenberg theory says that even a void has weight, has substance.
Okay.
So he's saying there is something there, and he sold it for $18,000, and somebody bought it.
How do you take it home?
I don't know. How do you know you took it
I
home?
don't know. I mean, are we really going to go through the motions of picking up air and carrying it out?
Yeah. How do you know it's not a replica? And the artist kept the real thing.
I mean, it's kind of hard to see his signature to verify it.
I know. Hopefully the guy paid him with invisible money. I'm not quite sure how this works.
Wow, that's a new one.
Okay.
Air.
Sucker born every minute.
I know, right?
True.
Aren't we all? Why didn't I think of that? You were the art major. Why didn't you think of that?
I tell you what, if you would talk to some of our art professor, they'd say I was close.
Or we'd have rather him turn that in.
'Cause, John, that's pretty much nothing right there.
Oh, no, that's too much. I mean, gosh, it's
I
brilliant.
have a long, voluminous story I'll tell you sometime about my final grade in sculpture class.
Sculpture.
Because there was no professor at OU that time. There was a resident artist. I'm trying to think of his name. Hildebrand or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
he was a famous artist, and he was a resident artist. And he hated my work.
It's better than your face.
I mean, they would take, and he was big at taking wood, big pieces of wood, and making these just beautiful and voluptuous sculptures. I mean, it was just wonderful. And, and I'm like everyone in class sitting there banging on this piece of wood thinking, this is really stupid. And of course, then I started doing other kinds of sculptures.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you that story some other time. But anyway, according to him, my
You
work
sucked.
it was worth nothing, and it was next to nothing. So,
Hey, I say beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
hopefully.
I'm trying to be positive here, John.
That's right.
Hey, let's go over your weather forecast.
Okay.
Because it's, well, a lot different than it was last week.
They're talking about rain, but it looks really nice today.
You looked out the weather window, didn't you?
Yes, I did before I came here.
Yeah.
I checked the weather window, and according to me, all is good.
Yes. Looks.
Or
It
should I
does
say,
look
all is well?
all is well.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's head on over to your weather forecast. Don't forget your Total Media Radio app. You can download and listen to live local radio on your phone, anywhere you are in the world, anytime you want to. And don't forget also, you can listen now on your Alexa device.
You know what's nice about the app? Go ahead.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Whew, that was a wild one. Probably need those masks back on.
You know what's nice about the
What?
app?
What?
You ever listen to a song and think, what's the name of that song?
Yes, or who
It-
sings that song?
And it tells you.
It does.
I'm sorry. I
No,
digress. Sorry.
you are correct, and that is so true. All right, so your weather forecast, as you can see, last week it said nothing but sunshine all week, and this week it's saying, well, nothing but rain in the forecast. So warmer temperatures today, partly cloudy, about a 40% chance of rain throughout the day today. Highs around 87 degrees. For tonight, same thing, rain overnight with lows of 67. And then tomorrow, a little bit cooler, thank goodness, but mostly cloudy with showers likely. And there's a chance of showers tomorrow at 80%, with highs around 82. So it's looking kind of the mid-80s through the rest of the week. Maybe some rain, maybe not, but the weekend looking pretty darn good. So we will take it. And again, don't forget to download that Total Media Radio app, and you can listen wherever you are.
Right?
Pretty cool.
It is.
Yep.
Well, more science.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
A message from space. According to NASA, they
Is
have
it
now
from
admitted
Org?
that they're hearing radio bursts from a distant galaxy. And these radio bursts are repeating themselves every 157 days. It's kind of like the morning show calling for the 18th caller, right?
Yeah.
157 days. And as you know, we sent messages out. Remember the messages we send out of greetings to anyone out there who might be listening in other planets and solar systems? We sent out different languages, copies of music and pictures. You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, on pictures of
I mean, it makes
what
sense.
humans look like. Yeah. So what I'm thinking,
It's a good deterrent to keep people or aliens away from our planet.
it might do that. So what I'm thinking is
Just send them the news.
that these bursts are actually alien telemarketers trying to sell us some more stuff.
You know, or what is it you get all the time? Our car.
Oh, your warranty is expired.
That's right.
Your spaceship warranty is about to
That's right.
expire. Oh my gosh. Or your Visa or MasterCard something. I'm like,
Hopefully it's not a message your planet is ready to expire. But anyway, so we'll see. I mean,
That is weird, though.
yeah, every 157 days. They can't explain it, so we'll see.
Weird.
I do have some other scientific tidbits if you don't mind me sharing with you.
Love scientific tidbits.
This is the new technology in clothing.
Okay.
There is a company that's now using a 3D printer to develop a groundbreaking new fabric out of algae.
Oh, that
So-
sounds interesting.
So you can have a new pond scum shirt that you could wear, I guess. I mean, people are saying, I love that shirt, but what's that smell?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, something smells a little foul.
I know. And there's a new study out concerning the game of Monopoly.
Do you know I've never played Monopoly?
Well, you're lucky according to this study.
Oh, good.
According to this study, when families during the pandemic got together, board games became popular again.
Sure.
And they found that of all the board games, the game Monopoly caused the most family fights of any of the games.
You're kidding.
Yeah, Twister caused the most Charlie horses, but Monopoly, it was the most fights.
How funny.
So if you guys are mad at each other at home, you might remember back when you played Monopoly, that's when it started.
Do you remember that one time
I know.
when we played Monopoly?
And there's another study out that says that they did this during the pandemic. They said that the average home does 2,416 pounds of laundry a year. And they attest this to teenagers. They say that when teenagers start that 3 times a day fashion show, you know, they come out and they...
And you don't put it back in the closet, you put it on the floor.
You throw it in, and you throw it in. This study was done, of course, by Whirlpool, and they also found out in this study that if you have children between the age of 3 and 18, that after you clean the house, Mom and Dad, your house will only stay litter-free, clutter-free for 17 minutes.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it's just Jamie and I, and that's would be a record for us.
17 minutes.
How is this house cleaned 5 minutes ago, and now it looks like
I know.
you know a bomb went off? There's 2 of us and a dog.
My mom used to complain about me because I was that way. I mean, not the messy part, but I was a clothes horse. I mean, I was always, if it had something on it or got a little bit wrinkled, I had to change in my clothes, especially in my terrible teens.
Oh yes. Well, you were very vain. What?
What? Very what?
Just no. That's good. That's good. You were
Go ahead and say
looking
it.
good.
I was insecure.
Just a little. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if that's what you want to call it.
Now, I don't remember this, but Mom said that my socks, if I had to match everything. If I had on green, I had to have green socks. If I had, so
Okay.
at least I wasn't color deficient.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So are you one of those guys that's colorblind, or can you see colors?
No. As a matter of fact, I just had my eyes checked, and the guy was checked me for color deficiency. Is that what they call it? Deficiency? I don't know. And he flipped through the numbers in this little book, and I went right through it,
Oh, well, very good.
so I can see color.
So I've laughed at my dad for 100,000 years because he can't see color for anything,
Yeah.
right? So and I think I've told this story before, but do you remember our good friend Donnie Broyles?
Yes.
Donnie Broyles was a realtor here in our area for many, many, many years, and quite a character, to say the least.
Yes, he was.
He was a very, very loving, fun-loving man, very large personality. And anyway, Donnie Broyles had this Jeep, and Dad bought it from him. And it was a very, very beautiful limited Jeep Cherokee, and it was black, and it had really pretty tan leather interior. And Dad always called it his brown Jeep.
Okay.
And I said, Dad, that Jeep is black. No, it's not. It's brown. Okay. And it was, you could go back here and the spare keys were hanging there and the key thing said brown Jeep,
okay.
on it. So I was like, whatever it looks like to you, I guess. That's cool. But, yeah. But, you know Donnie Broyles, and many of you remember Donnie Broyles, but I grew up in the neighborhood where he lived, across the street, down the alley a little bit. And they had a house on Oak Street.
Okay.
And Donnie Broyles, when I was a little girl, had this beautiful yellow Corvette Stingray.
Okay.
And I just thought it was the prettiest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And so he would come. Now, you couldn't do this nowadays. You'd get arrested for it.
Okay.
But he would literally come, drive his Corvette down the alley, and let me sit on the back of it like I was a queen. And he would drive me up and down the road, and so I could wave. And Mom would put me in a dress, and I would wave.
Okay.
And he would go real slow up and down. Isn't that precious?
That is nice.
Yeah, he was quite a hoot.
So that's where the horse queen
That's
started.
where I was practicing for being the horse queen. Yes, Courtney, yes, I was. Minus the tiara.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just a funny story to tell. All right, what is your favorite movie in the world? Like, okay, we all have favorite movies for different reasons, but okay, one of your top 5 favorite movies that, like, it's one of those where you see it on TV and you watch it over and over again.
Sure.
Because, you know.
Probably number 1 on my list is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't go through Christmas season without watching that once.
At least once.
Yeah, and I still laugh about it.
Yeah, like it's still the same jokes, and
Yeah.
we've
And I'm
seen
not
it
a
100
fan of
times.
the other vacation movies either. I mean, I watched them, but this I thought was top of the list.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So Courtney's here today. What is one of your favorite movies?
I really like Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, and their witches, and
I've never seen that movie.
it's a really good movie. I could watch it over and over.
Very good. Well, if you would ask me what one of my top favorite movies is, and I have no idea why, but this movie just makes me laugh like uncontrollably, it's Wedding Crashers. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
To me, it is literally like the funniest movie I've ever seen. Like, it is ridiculously funny. Anyway, there has been this rumor. So Wedding Crashers came out in, are you ready for this? 2005. It's that old. So what was that, 16, 17 years ago?
Yep.
Yep.
And everyone has just been after them and after them and after them to do a sequel to Wedding Crashers. Like, why on earth? Wedding Crashers did $200 million in the U.S. alone, just the U.S. back in 2005. It's one of the highest grossing R-rated comedies of all time. So it's like, why are we not doing a sequel to this? Well, guess what?
All right, here we go.
I woke up this morning to a story that says Owen Wilson is saying that the long-awaited Wedding Crashers 2, they're planning on shooting it this summer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And the great thing about it is, so sequels are known for, number one, not being as good as the first one. But also, a lot of times the cast doesn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you have some, but not all. But, so of course, Wedding Crashers, I can't believe you haven't seen it, but it was Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Isla Fisher, Rachel McAdams was in it, and a whole bunch of other people. But they have all agreed to come back.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Isla Fisher. They said Rachel McAdams is in. So yeah, they're planning on filming it in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So they have not said anything about like what the.
I wonder if it's honeymoon crashers then.
I
if
don't
it's in-
know. Like that's a fair and like it's been so long now, so it's like where are they going to go with it? I don't know. Like if they'd have done it the next year or whatever, you'd be like, okay, well they're just going to go do something cockamamie, but I have no idea. So they're not talking. But I'm super duper excited. So do you remember, this is a good segue into my next horrific story.
Oh no.
Do you remember in Wedding Crashers what Owen Wilson does to Zach, which is Rachel McAdams' fiance in the movie, to get back at him for being such a jerk? Do you remember what he does to him during dinner?
What's he? Drugs him or something?
Yes.
Okay. Poisons
Do you
him?
remember?
No, I don't remember what it.
He used the old waitress get back at the nasty customer trick.
Okay.
The old Visine in the water glass.
Okay.
And I've never done this because I think it's
Sure.
horrific.
Uh-huh.
But I know waitresses from years ago that was a thing. And if somebody was a jerk, they squirted Visine and it makes you, shall we say, ill,
Okay.
to say the least. So, in Wedding Crashers, Owen Wilson does this to Rachel McAdams' fiance because he's a big fat jerk and he just wants him to, suffer a little bit. So he gets extremely sick during the movie, and that's part of it. Well, there's a girl in Wisconsin who is facing homicide charges after she called 911. She said she was at her friend's home. Her friend wasn't breathing. They got there, found a pale, unconscious female with a large amount of crushed medication on her chest. So this girl named Jessie said, and the police, along with her story, said on their initial observation that the woman had died of a drug overdose because she had these crushed up pills on her chest. And this Jessie girl saying that she was, depressed and suicidal and all of this. Well, come to find out, when they got the autopsy back, she died of a fatal dose of tetrahydrozoline, which is basically Visine, what you put in your eyes to get the red out. And it's the main ingredient used in eye drops. She had 160 nanograms per milliliter, which is an amount one medical examiner said would have been impossible to have in one system by just using eye droplets. So she then finally admitted she had killed her friend, and the scene was staged to look like a suicide. Then she went on to say, but that was what my friend wanted. My friend wanted me to kill her.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? She had dumped 6 bottles of Visine in this girl's water bottle. 6 bottles of Visine. And it killed her. She said she didn't think it would kill her friend because it hadn't killed her yet. And her friend had been regularly drinking it for a while. So
So how are you regularly killing your friend for a while if that's and she wanted to be regularly killed?
Evidently she didn't do enough or something. They also learned that this girl's finances began to closely resemble her friends. They concluded that she committed more than $290,000 worth of fraud. Fraudulently, $130,000 came from a check from the dead friend to her. And she is in a whole lot of trouble. But I have heard of a lot of weird things, but killing your friend with Visine is, that's a whole other sort of weird.
Really?
And again, how do you think you're not going to get caught? Like, it's a chemical, and, I don't know. She just has this Visine fetish. I just can't get it. She can't get enough of it.
Good luck.
I mean,
That one.
what? Oh, Jessie, you're in some serious
know.
trouble, sister. Yeah.
I know weird things going on in the world. I know another weird thing going on in the world. Did you see where, in the world of, they have, the auto industry uses auto crash dummies to,
Yes.
to test,
Yes.
There is now a delegate from Washington, D.C. by the name of Eleanor Holmes Norton,
Okay.
who is now protesting and saying that they are not using enough female crash dummies in the test, so she's passing legislation. She's on the House Transportation Subcommittee
Okay.
of Highways and Transit, and she's introduced legislation regarding her concerns.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess she's all for dummy equality. I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
All dummies are not alike.
yeah, but I think there's a lot of equality in dumbness. Well, here's some cool stuff that you need to know.
Yeah.
These are some top myths that are not true, that moms tell kids and parents tell everyone. Sorry.
Oh, you are just going to make all the parents out there really
I was
angry.
gonna say, if there's any kids listening, you
Turn the
parents,
channel.
you might want to
Yeah, put it on.
earmuffs.
Put it on mute.
Earmuffs.
You'll get cramps if you go swimming right after you eat. According to science, no scientific basis for that. Dogs can only see black and white. No scientific basis for that.
I've never even heard that before.
If you touch a baby bird with your bare hands, the mama will not, come back.
Yeah.
That's not true. Shaving makes your hairs come back darker and thicker.
I've heard that.
Yeah, they say that's not true. Now that comes back, it'll be blunt, and
And that may be where that comes from because it's growing back
yeah,
out.
it's stubbly, but
Yeah.
and it appears darker and thicker, but it's not.
Okay.
Cracking your knuckles will cause arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists say no. It doesn't cause harms to your joints. And ready for this? Going out in the cold will give you a cold. They say no, because a cold comes from a virus.
Sure. Unless the virus is in the cold that you're out in.
If you're eating yellow snow.
If you're eating the
maybe.
yellow snow.
So anyway, another scientific study. I like this one. This comes from Great Britain.
Okay.
They're confirming that swearing helps us get through pain.
Oh,
That's true.
you're darn tootin' it does.
100%.
They did a
It helps us get through a lot.
they did a study, and why they would even do this, but they did a study on subjecting people to putting their hands in really cold temperatures and holding it there.
Okay.
Okay, and they were able to only shout out 4 words. They were able to use the F-bomb.
Okay.
They had 2 made-up words they could use. Ready? Fouch, kind of like in Fauci, which is
Yeah.
a dirty word,
Yeah, it is.
and twizz pipe.
What?
And then they said they could also use some natural swear words. Now, I have no clue what natural swear words would be. But anyway, at the end of this, they found out they're able to withstand more pain, and the worse the word, the more pain they could stand. So the next time you stub your toe, you can try twizz pipe and see how that works.
Oh, twizz pipe.
So
Who came up with that word?
I don't know.
Who's the intern that came up
I
with
know
that?
Fouch, F-O-U-C-H, Fouch.
Will that
and
be a combination of
ouch and
the F word and ouch?
and
Yeah.
twizz pipe, whatever that is. But anyway, the study did come out and say that letting it all out helps you to withstand pain.
If I were to say the 4 words, it would be the same word 4 times.
So there you go.
No, why would that be? Is it just you're getting out some of the
Sure.
anger or adrenaline or something? Or
It's in other words, expressing your pain You know,
Yeah.
if they say that if you're undergoing pain, that's it. So
Would Twiz Pipe be the
so
one that
if-
you used?
If you're in the doctor's office, try to control yourself, please.
I can see it now. Twiz Pipe for everyone.
That's right.
Like,
I mean, you get a raised eyebrow in there if you, Dr. Twiz Pipe. You go, what? That hurts.
if I could remember that word, I would use it, but that's like way too complicated.
Well, I just wonder if that helps ease the pain because your brain's thinking, "Oh, what was that word
What
I
was
was
that
supposed
word
to
again?
say?"
I mean, the
and you
F word just
forget.
comes right out, rolls off the
Right.
tongue. That's not a problem.
It's part of focusing. I mean, you can withstand lots of things when you focus. You know, discomfort, not necessarily pain.
Right.
I'll tell you, one of the biggest battles that human beings fight is the battle against silence, because silence creates fear. It creates all kinds of different things. One of the most therapeutic things that we can utilize in our lives are moments of silence, but for some reason human beings, we resist silence. And we think turning up the volume helps, but actually turning down the volume helps.
Yep.
Especially if you're lost in your car. Why is it when you're driving around you can't find, you reach over and turn the radio down? What is
Can't
with
think.
that?
I'm lost and I've got to turn the radio off. I don't know.
I do that too.
100% of people do that.
I
though.
know. What is it with that?
I have no idea. I think it's just because it's like everything's on your nerves at that point, and you're just like,
Blame it on your radio. I'm lost and
it's all my radio's fault. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Oh, I got something here I want to share with you.
Okay.
Because you know about this.
Yeah.
They're coming out with what they call porch suds.
Okay.
You know about that?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, a lot of beer pairings to choose from. Pizza and beer and burgers. You know, lots of people use that.
Yeah.
And beer, of course, it's a good combination. But these
Beer and more
porch
beer.
beers they're coming out with, they're saying that they're light and refreshing.
Yeah.
This new one called Lemon Bomb Sour IPA that's coming out. You've probably heard of that one. And they have this company, Tart and Juicy, is Tart and Juicy IPA, Tropical Tart and Juicy, Lemon Bomb Tart and Juicy.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess throwing a lot of fruit in the beer, and they call it porch beer because it's
Yeah. Because you can sit out on your porch and drink a few of them.
that's I guess.
So there's also, see, I would be more apt to name one, and this actually exists, a lawnmower beer.
Lawnmower beer, okay.
Now, if you have ever said that you have not mowed a lawn and drank a beer at the same time, you're a big fat liar. Have we not all done that?
I tell you, I hate yard work, and having a couple beers makes it a heck of a lot
It
better.
does. It's like you just
Yard
got
work
to,
is
they
the
go
worst.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, you are right. And,
But I don't have a riding lawnmower, so I can't do a beer and mow at the same
oh,
time.
okay.
And just get you a holster on your side.
Yeah, get you.
Get one of those hats with a straw.
Yes,
There you go.
that's
Even
exactly what
better.
you need. Oh, it's just John out mowing his lawn
Oh,
again,
there he
drinking
is.
the old porch beer. But no, most breweries now are going to at least one like lager, one Bud Light, if you will,
Yeah.
or something of that nature. Like ours is called Sports Ball, because like
Sports what?
Sports Ball.
Sports ball.
So it's kind of like a like a play on like all of the sports out there.
Yeah.
Like you ever heard of people call it sports ball? But yeah, that's ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
Super light.
Is it really light? Is it fruity?
No, ours isn't fruity. Just
Okay.
a plain.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have fruity
Basic.
ones? What
We
have?
do.
Okay.
You had a fly on your head.
Okay.
I didn't want to. Who was that?
At least I got something up there.
Mike Pence.
Yeah.
with a fly on his head the whole time. No, but we do have some tart and sours and different things
Okay.
like that as well. So you have to
Okay.
come in and try them. And they're typically the sours are lower ABV than
Yeah.
most
And you
beers.
have one of those like
the tasting board. Yeah.
tasting board?
Yeah. So you
Okay.
can do like 2-ounce pours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get a designated driver and come and try it. I'm not very good with that, so, but I
Absolutely.
would love to do it.
I can hook you up,
Okay.
brother.
I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
I think this is really kind of funny that in Philadelphia, they planned this big benefit, what they call the bike ride, and it's put on by the Philly National Naked Bike Riders Association. And they planned this to take place on August the 23rd, and they got all their permits and they sent out all the information. But when they sent out the information, the COVID-19 rules had not been lifted. So they told everybody, even though you could be naked, you had to wear a mask. So now that they've lifted the COVID restrictions in Philadelphia, the Naked Bike Association said, well, since it's out there, everyone still has to wear a mask. So, so they're going to be doing the Naked Bike Ride in Philadelphia August 28th
With masks on.
With masks on.
Well, it doesn't say where you have to wear your mask.
That's true. I was going to say, people, you know, when they drive by, you can always put yours over your eyes, so you don't have to see what you what's going by. Okay. Anyway, I'm done. I thought that was funny. And why wouldn't they? I mean, they sent out they had posters and invitations, and it was the mask was required.
Sure.
So I'm not sure why they wouldn't lift it. You know.
I'm still back to the naked bike riding.
Okay.
I can't get past that. Sorry, John.
Okay.
Safety first.
You could wear
Gotta
it-
wear your mask.
I know. Wear it on the back of your head. Tie it to the front of your ears. I don't know.
Or just somewhere else,
Yeah,
for
that's
that
right.
matter.
That ain't going to happen for them. You know that.
No. So we all know about. I was trying to remember.
Do we do? We really do.
We all do know,
Okay.
yes. We all know. So everybody in the world knows who Jeff Bezos is, right?
Yes, Jeff Bezos
Yeah. So of Amazon.
and
Well-
SpaceX.
Well, no, he's Blue Origin. So
Okay, Space
yeah,
Blue Origin. Okay.
I think SpaceX is Elon Musk, isn't it?
Yeah, you're true. Okay.
Yeah, he's the Tesla dude. So, Jeff Bezos announced Monday that he will travel to space next month on his company Blue Origin's first passenger flight. And he has chosen his brother, Mark, to go with him.
Did you notice he didn't say his brother just
Larry
volunteered to come along?
No, he did
He
not.
chose
So he will be joined by his brother Mark and an auction winner on the flight scheduled for July 20th. He said, ever since I was 5 years old, I've been dreaming about traveling to space, blah, blah, blah. He said that last month, Blue Origin kicked off an online auction offering one seat on the first flight of the New Shepard spacecraft. The auction has already notched bids from 6,000 people, pushing the bidding war to $2.8 million, and the live auction ends on June 12th. Well, we all know that Jeff Bezos is quite a polarizing figure, right? Like some people, love Amazon, hate Amazon, love to hate Amazon, whatever. So the interesting thing to me was not necessarily the fact that he's going to space, although I think that's kind of wild that it's just like in a month. Like, that's pretty wild that, whatever. But I printed out some of the comments after the story. Number one.
Are you sure you want to go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the comments that people wrote after this story about him going to space. I hope Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey are going as well. It would make mission failure much more palatable. Please make it a one-way trip. He's going home.
Going home.
Maybe it will just keep on going. How much would it cost to leave him there? My personal favorite, just like 1,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean, it's a good start. One-way trip to Mars? Question mark. We can only hope.
Now, Elon
Not
Musk,
a lot of fans out there.
Yeah, so like, yeah, and that was just the first page. I didn't print any more out. I can only imagine. And there were no nice ones. Like, they were all like that. I was like, oh my God.
Elon Musk, SpaceX, and I
Yeah.
was discussing his plan. If you look this up, I was just actually in my sermon Sunday,
Yeah.
where here's his plan. He's going to shoot up 2 rockets,
Okay.
one with passengers and the other one with just fuel.
Okay.
And they're going to both start orbiting. All right.
Okay.
Then this is to Mars. They're going to Mars.
Okay.
Then they're going to dock, and the one with the passengers is going to take all the fuel from the other one, and then it's going on to Mars.
Okay.
And it's going to land
On Mars.
on Mars. And then on the
With
return, yes. Then on the return trip, they're going to refuel with what he says are the natural resources that are on Mars.
I'm not taking that gamble.
I mean, what is there? A speedway? A Mars speedway?
I don't know.
What?
There's a guy up there named Org, and that's all I know. Like,
Anyway, that's the plan. You can look it up on the internet. And I thought to myself, that's not a plan. Of course, the original.
that's a prayer.
Yeah, the original flight to Mars, if you remember, was going to be one way anyway, where if you went, you just going
You
to
lived there.
You're going to colonize.
Oh.
So it sounds to me like Eldon's plan may go that direction real quick.
Well, I hope they all know how to grow potatoes,
Yeah, that's right.
like Matt Damon.
Take lots of
In The
Twinkies. Yeah, they last forever.
Yeah, right. You are not kidding about that. Mark Carmen will be our guest tomorrow, right? Here on the program.
Yep.
Yep. And we will talk all things cars, Kiwanis, and whatever the heck else he wants to talk about.
I think they always have a golf outing this
They
time.
do,
Yeah,
and it's
this time
coming
of year.
up, and we're going to actually get to play it and do fun things this year.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, very, very good. So get out and tune in tomorrow and see Mark Carmen, and we'll be talking about the golf outing coming up. Also wanted to remind you about our friends, the Holzaffel family, and you spend a lot of time at the store at Broadway and Penn.
I had some friends over, and I ordered 2 pizzas,
Yeah.
my cauliflower pizza as well.
Yes.
Chicken wings, what they call rooms, mushrooms,
Oh,
and some cheese sticks. We sort of just walked across the street,
grabbed it
packed
all.
it, grabbed it, went back, and we had a big feast.
Yeah,
It
super
was
good.
Really super good.
So that's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So stop in, get the Hoser's Pizza, get that cauliflower crust pizza. I'm telling you, you won't even know that it is.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's so good. And there's a lot of them out there, but theirs is very, very, very good. Because I've come to realize that a lot of places don't put the same toppings on it. Like, they just lightly throw a few things on there and send it on its way, and they actually put the toppings that they would
It's-
on a pizza.
It's there.
It's good.
It's
So
good.
good. So, all right. Anything else? Did we forget anything today?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, Courtney's been here today. Well, James was here earlier, and then
Yeah.
then Courtney kicked him out.
I did.
She bounced him right up out of here. Yeah. So we appreciate you all tuning in. Don't forget, if you do not want to see this channel go away off of your television set, please call any of or all of the Jackson City Council members and tell them that you would like us to remain, as they are voting on Monday, basically, to either kick us off or let us stay here. And it's up to them. And but you do have a voice, and we hope that you will give them a ring, whether you live in the city or not, and just let them know whether we're important to you or not. So that's all we ask.
That's it.
Yep. So have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for
Well, you're
spending the
welcome.
morning with me. It was
Thanks
fun.
for inviting me.
Of course, anytime. You know that. And enjoy your purple shirt.
I am.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
As long as I don't get something on it, we'll be
Right.
good.
We'll get you a bib.
You'll have to go home and change.
I know. Connie, I ruined my purple shirt. So, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back here tomorrow with Mark Carmen. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.